Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio, so today we're going to be looking at another new Pokemon GX card coming out soon in Japan in a little promo set. And yeah, it's a double new GX day. That is a good day by anyone's estimation. Or I should say anyone that has an interest in the Pokemon trading card games estimation. Now, we looked at Solgaleo earlier, we said it was amazing. Can Lunala stand up? Well, Lunala has 230 HP, which is a lot. Although, weirdly, the other one from Sun and Moon had 250 HP. And Solgaleo went from 250 to 250. And Lunala's gone from 250 to 230. And I don't really know why. Why did Solgaleo not get bumped down in HP, but Lunala did? That doesn't seem very fair to me. That seems a little bit mean. Resistance to fighting is really good because you've got things like Buzzwole that might be good in the near future, and Lycanroc seems like it might be getting a bit better with Zoroark GX coming out and doing the rounds. It is weak to Dark, which could be an issue with Darkrai running around, but having said that, it's a Psychic Pokemon that isn't weak to Garbodor because of the Ghost typing in the video game. Ghosts come through as Psychic with a weakness to Dark rather than a weakness to Psychic, like Poison and Psychic Pokemon do. This is good. We like Psychic Pokemon that are not weak to Garbodor. That is very nice indeed. Oh yeah, and it's got free retreat. It's a random free retreat, so I quite like this. The free retreat and the nice weakness here helps a lot. But it's just kind of weird how it's gone from a HP of 250 to 230 while going from a retreat of 2 to free retreat. This is entirely inconsistent and I don't fully understand it. Now there's 3 attacks here. The first attack, 50 damage for a double colourless energy. I mean, this isn't good. I like to think of myself as a bastion of positivity. But this isn't good. This is a stage 2 Pokemon. You're using 2 energy, or a double colourless energy, which is a special energy attachment. I mean, it's still better than Charizard, because for free energy, we would expect Charizard to do 75. I know that's not an actual real thing, but proportionally, it's slightly better than Charizard, but that's nothing to write home about. Charizard has become my go-to, it's way too expensive for how much damage it does example. And the worst thing of all here, it doesn't even KO anything. If it did 60, then we could point to a whole bunch of Pokemon like Ralts and like Alolan Vulpix and say, oh well, double colourless energy takes down some of these evolving basics, that's not too bad, but it doesn't! It only does 50! What? For 4 energy, 2 Psychic, 2 colourless, so it does work with double colourless energy again. 200 damage, discard 2 Psychic energy. Now, I'm a little bit ambivalent about this, because here's the thing. On the one hand, 200 damage is great. You add a choice band on there, you do 30, you are getting a one-hit KO on Gardevoir, Golisopod, etc. Even without a choice band, 200 is enough to take down something like a Drampa, or even a Darkrai, bearing in mind that Darkrai has resistance to Psychic. So, damage-wise here, this is really good. You know, I've been saying for a while how Ho-Oh doing 180 is brilliant. And Turtonator doing 160 is brilliant. So Lunala doing 200 is brilliant. It is a very powerful attack. But here's the thing. You've got to discard 2 Psychic energy to do it. So you can keep the double colourless on there, discard the Psychic, get the Psychic back, etc. It would be much better if you just discarded 2 energy. So you put the 2 Psychic, attach double colourless, discard it, double colourless, discard, etc. Just like Alolan Ninetales does for its main attack. But it's not, it's discarding 2 Psychic. So it's very expensive, and then you've got the awkward discard as well, which makes me very upset, because it's a stage 2 for 4 energy, and you've got to do the discarding. Something like a Ho-Oh is a basic, you can use Kiawe, you're going. You're ready to roll, the damage is there. Whereas Lunala here is just so much more awkward. Now, there is a nice kind of synergy with the Lunala from Sun and Moon, in that that's got the ability that allows you to move psychic energy from other Pokemon onto Lunala, and this might be a way to replenish the energy. So one option you wouldn't usually have for Stage 2 Pokemon is Max Elixir. Max Elixir onto a benched Pokemon, and then use Psychic Transfer to move it over to your Lunala and get attacking. And this is an option that you have here. But we don't have any great ways to accelerate psychic energy. If we had, say, an Aqua Patch equivalent for psychic energy, so we could then be popping it onto our bench and then moving it into the active, now I'm talking. Now I like it. But we don't. And that's really, really upsetting to me. It's a fine attack. I love the damage output. But I just get really sad when I look at it and just go, but you've got to discard 2 psychic, and you've got to get 4 energy on there to begin with. Maybe you can use something like Rayquaza in the early game, get a bit of energy out on the field onto anybody, and then move it onto Lunala as and when you like. But it's already a Stage 2 Pokemon. We shouldn't have to be worrying about trying to get a whole bunch of energy on there and then replenishing them when we discard. It's really a little bit upsetting to me. You got the first attack, which is nice for poking a bit of damage, and then you come in hitting with a big second attack, except 4 energy on a Stage 2, and you're discarding, and you can't just discard the double colourless. Who's using this? Now, the real selling point of Lunala is that it's got the most damaging GX attack of any GX attack we've had printed, edging out the previous champion Kommo-o by 10 damage. Now, let me be clear about this. I'm not counting things like Tapu Koko that does 50 damage for each of your opponent's energy, because that's not reliable. You may or may not do 250 or more. I'm going for just pure guaranteed damage. But even Kommo-o had double dragon energy and double colourless, so you could do it in 2 energy attachments. You can't even use double colourless for this. It's psychic, 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 colourless. That is about as awkward an attack cost as we have in the entire Pokemon trading card game at the moment. Because who's putting this much energy on there? Now, great news, you get to do 250 damage. But here's the thing. I can name you Pokemon that this won't KO. Metagross, 250, wait, but it's got a resistance to Psychic, you won't get the KO. Solgaleo, 250, but it's got a resistance to Psychic, you won't get the KO. And I'm sorry if this sounds a little bit whingy of me, but if I'm putting 4 energy onto a Stage 2 Pokemon, and I can't even cheat with double colourless, you'd better believe I expect to be KOing any Pokemon in the game with my once per game GX attack. Once per game, awkward cost, no shortcuts, and there's still widely played Pokemon like Metagross that you don't even get a one-hit KO on. I'm a little bit offended by Lunala. Now, let me give you a counter-argument for Lunala. The numbers are big. And I know that sounds really silly, but this is what Lunala is. Because kids are going to look at that and go, whoa, it does 200 damage. Whoa, it does 250 damage. That seems really cool. People who play competitively are going to look at it and go, oh, I wish that was more playable. But kids are going to look at this and go, ooh, 200 damage, I like. 250 damage once per game, I like. It's a whole Charizard thing. Yeah, it's really impractical and is never going to be good when you play it in a competitive game, but the numbers are big and kids look at the big numbers and get made happy. What I will say is, if we ever get a really good way of accelerating psychic energy, look out for Lunala, because we still got the one from Sun and Moon, and the ability is really good. The GX attack is really good, getting a one-hit KO on any basic non-GX Pokemon. And while we've got EXs still running around, this is useful to get 2 prizes sometimes. Although generally I would prefer the new Lunala's GX attack, because most of the time you're going to KO a GX. I like Lunala, and I like the ability of the Sun and Moon one, and I love the numbers of the new one, but oh my goodness, I just don't think we can afford that much energy, which is sad, but there's nothing we can do about it. My thumbnail isn't a lie, ladies and gentlemen. This is the most powerful GX attack we've seen so far. And in fact, in terms of raw damage, the only one that comes to mind that does more than 200 is Solgaleo GX that does 230. Although that's for free energy, which is a little bit more manageable. And of course, you've got Soul Burst on Solgaleo GX, which really helps, and you've got Metagross that can accelerate the energy. So, yeah, Solgaleo much better than Lunala in that respect. I'm going to have to give Lunala, for the moment, 2 Wossies. It's just impractical. But if we ever get a way of accelerating psychic energy, look out, because Lunala might then be good. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWossie, and Twitch at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio, because that's where live action happens. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus pods, etc., you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.